welcome to Campaigns of the Plains. Obviously, I am not Josh or whoever's DMing right now because we are time travelers. This was videotaped a long time ago from when you're watching it now, so buckle in. Tonight we are playing a special game of D&D 5e. I don't know if that's like unpopular now whenever you're watching this, but hey, you know what? At the time, the whole debacle was still unraveling, so who knows? Anyway, we still like to get together and play games, and tonight we are playing Midnight. This is brought to us by Final Fantasy Flight. Final Fantasy is our other campaign. They're not a sponsor, but I really like their material, and so we decided, hey, why not run a short little adventure? So this is going to be probably 5 to 6 episode mini arc of our daring adventures. Before we dive into tonight's campaign, as usual, please like and subscribe to us on YouTube, and also go down to any and all of our social medias, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikToks, and follow us there as well, where we're going to give you updates for all of our new adventures. You can also catch us every Wednesday on podcasts, whether that's Apple, Google, Amazon, Spotify. We're on all of them. So catch us there every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Central Time. Right. So, do we have any other announcements?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, cool.
It's Friday the 13th.
So, it is. We are filming on Friday the 13th.
You know what? It's Friday the 13th. It's 2023, so you guys figure out what date it is when we record this.
Magic. And then also, Scary Wary, we're going to play a scary game.
So, tonight's game takes place in the world of Aerith. You all are people who have grown up in this world. You have lived in this world under the rule and oppression of an evil god who, over 8,000 years ago, fell to this plane and began corrupting the creatures and the land itself with his malice and power. And 100 years ago, though the peoples of this land had fended off his advances for eons, he finally won. The lands occupied by the humans were overrun by the orcs of Israthor's armies. And now the land stands divided. You have the elves sequestered to their forest. You have dwarves who continue to fight the orcs' advances in their minds. And frankly, they're losing the battle. You all have seen your fair share of bloodshed in your time on this planet. And you have grown to become warriors. A resistance force to fight against these evil forces that are trying to take over what remains of the free world. And recently, you were summoned by the Queen of the Elves, the Witch Queen known as Eridel. Deep in her forest kingdom, she has been the leader of pretty much all the peoples of pushing back against Isrador's armies. And maintaining what freedom and liberties you still have in this world. She sent out an open notice to adventurers. She was looking for a group who would dare to cross enemy lines to seek out an ancient relic, a device owned by one of her former generals who has since turned traitor. She believes if she can get a hold of this item, that she will be able to wrestle his mind from the control of Isrador and return him to the side of good. It has been a week since you met with the Queen, and you made your way up towards the northern ends of the woods, where it snows perpetually. It takes a certain caliber of person to survive these harsh woods up here. And as you march on, you start seeing signs of encampments. Some are from the elves that live this far up north. Others are of orcs. And as you stooped to investigate one of these leftover camps, that is when you discovered you were not alone up here. And that's when the ambush began. So, we're going to start the game with initiative.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And as we go through it, we will introduce your characters.
Oh my goodness. This is like an action sequence. I love it. Okay. Ooh.
Okay, let me pull up my encounter here. We will not be using Roll20 for this. This is just more of a narrative scene. But if I could go around the table, we'll start with Christian. What did you roll?
7.
7. Okay. Eric.
Sweet 16.
Okay. Matt.
8.
8. And then Paige.
4.
4. Oh no. And Alysia.
21.
Ooh! 16
All
and
right.
21, those are fun ages.
Those are fun ages.
Yeah.
It's been a long time
16
since
going on
I've been
21.
either one of those ages, but you know.
I just turned 22.
Okay. So, as the
Smells like
orcs and foul creatures start pouring out of the woods, Nova, please introduce yourself, and what do you do?
Shit, I don't know. Okay. Nova pulls back the hood of her cloak, and you see long, pointed ears, and like a light bluish purple skin, covered in these intricate words. Yes, tattoos. It's already going south.
Hell yeah.
They look like tribal style tattoos that were done with one needle poked into her skin.
Polynesian.
And they are done with a bioluminescent kind of ink, so they glow in the darkness. And they kind of shimmer a little bit with a little bit of magic to them. And she's got this long blue, midnight blue dress that has these hand embroidered stars in them. And this tall, dark wooden staff that has a crescent moon at the top, and curled around it is a white snake. And as she is getting ready to cast a spell, her dress kind of floats up and flutters as she does. You see, there's a group of them, right?
Yes.
As she throws a fairy fire at the group.
Oh.
Okay. Yes, so you summon your magical essence and project it to cover the battlefield. And let's see, there are 3 goblins, an orc, and then you see one orc who is dressed in this bone-plated armor, and you see like face paint all over his like mouth and eyes, and you definitely recognize this as the orc chief. Okay, so fairy fire. Is there a save for that?
Yes, it is. Dex DC 12.
Okay, sounds good. All right, 2 rolled a 13. 1 failed. The other rolled a 13. And the orc chief got a natural 20. So,
Okay, so the one that failed. The one that failed starts glowing with a soft blue light, and it other creatures have advantage against it.
all right.
And it can't benefit
yeah.
from being invisible, but it's an orc. I don't know that I've never known an orc that could do that.
Right. Yeah, so this little goblin who is the foot soldier, he starts glowing bright. What color again?
Blue?
Bright blue? Okay. And kind of looks at himself like, and doesn't quite understand what's going on. Is that all of your turn?
Let's see, that was my action. So for my bonus, I don't have a bonus action that I can use at the moment. I'm done.
Okay.
Oh, I'm a druid. Is a bonus action? I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm done.
Okay, with that, we move to a little gnomish fellow. Bink, why don't you introduce yourself?
Bink is a very tall gnome, standing at 3 foot. He is he's not supposed to. He is walking through the snow. He's got his cloak wrapped around him, and it's slightly dirtier than the snow, but he kind of uses it as camouflage. And he sees these orcs and sees the one that's soft blue. He's slowly walking with his little like pole that's about 2 feet long, and is using it to kind of walk through the snow and, get through these snowbanks. And when he sees that, he's like, thanks, Nova! And I won't do that voice for the rest of the day, but that's what he sounds like. And he throws back his cloak, and he is wearing half-plate armor with like leathers and everything like that. And he goes, he looks like fun! And then he takes his pole, and he telescopes it out, and it is a 10-foot glaive, and he starts booking it and using the glaive to like plunge into the ground. He's going to use it to like pole vault and see if he can just like smack into the orc that's blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess make an attack roll.
Okay. I assume that's an unarmed strike, or would you count like because he's jumping at him?
You know what? I will allow you to use. I assume you're using a glaive's stat block.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and use the glaive
Okay.
for the attack.
Okay. 19?
19 definitely hits.
Okay,
Go ahead and do damage.
That is a mystery damage. Oh, there. 13.
With 13 damage.
Oh, I have advantage.
You do.
I'm gonna roll again. Let's see if he
Okay.
crits. I don't crit. But it still
Okay.
hits.
So with 13 damage, this goblin looks up just at the last minute to see this very tall for his species gnome land square on top of him. And as you land, you hear a crunch in the neck of this goblin, and it does not move. It is dead. Do you have anything else you would like to do?
think that's all he will do right now.
Okay. So with that, the goblin is dead. So we'll go to the next goblin. This one is going to, you know what? I think it'll run up to you, Prius, and it's going to slash at you with its scimitar. Why don't you explain how your character looks and how you defend yourself?
Alright. Prius will pull out a longsword from under her cloak. She has kind of short pink hair in the back and maybe a little bit longer in the front. It's very uneven. You can hear her because she's got scaled mail, so she's got that soft metal sound every time she steps. She looks very cautious and everything. That's about it.
Okay. The goblin rolls a natural 20. So we're starting this fun.
That's 2 20s in like 10 minutes.
What's that?
So that's like 2 natural 20s in 10 minutes that you've rolled.
Mm-hmm.
Matt,
Yeah.
take away his
Yeah.
dice.
Yeah.
Just
Slap him off the table.
slap it off the table.
Did,
Yep. I mean, I can't see it, so I can't verify. I'm sure.
I don't. Yeah, trust it. But
did
just get rid of
Josh
those
send
dice.
you his dice?
Yeah, right. Do you have that yellow die?
I do not. So you'll only take 4 damage from that guy. Next, we'll go to the orc, just the regular orc, not the war chief. I think this orc is going to charge up on. I think it'll charge up on Rorx. So it's going to pull out its sword as well and slash at you. I want you to describe your character and what you do.
So Rorx is a humanoid, probably like 5'10", tan skin, rugged beard, like kind of like longish brown hair. He's wearing a dark green cloak with leathers underneath, and strapped to his back underneath his cloak is a large cittern, which is like a guitar, old medieval guitar basically, as well as a sword on his hilt. And he, as soon as he sees this orc coming up to him, he'll whip his cittern around and strum it, and to kind of like, hopefully, kind of set him off his gait, so that as he's running it, he's like, "What the fuck? Why is this playing at me?" And I'm gonna like try and sing at him. It's not like a thing I can do. I'm just doing this to distract him.
Okay.
Be like, "What the fuck you doing?"
Okay. Does a 15 hit?
15 is my armor class.
Oh, okay. Well, you take 8 damage.
Ugh. So he like slashes into my leg, be like, "Ah, motherfucker!" Like just start like heavy metal like strumming. Is it my turn next?
1 second. We're almost there. The orc war chief yells to his minions, "Pick up the pace! Clear this filth from the battlefield!" And he is just going to kind of hang back as a goblin is going to rush forward, and he's going to attack Shand. Why don't you introduce your character?
Shand is... You can't really see any features. He is, except for on his arms, in a full dark blue-ish, I guess, suit. A hood covers his head, and he has a cloth that covers his face. You can really only see his eyes, but they are otherwise dark featured and hard to tell. His arms are exposed. You can see tattoos that kind of resemble like a dragon scale that kind of spiral all the way down to his wrists. And on his legs, you can see brown like pads that go from the knee all the way down to the feet.
Okay. So this little goblin, it's going to try and jump on your back and stab you. It rolled a 10 to hit.
That misses.
Yeah. And it, like, leaps and then soars over top of you and tumbles in the ground in front of you. So with that, it is Rorx's turn. What are you doing, Rorx?
So I have the orc in melee with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the war chief is back, like hanging back, right?
Yeah, he's hanging back, kind of commanding the troops in this little glade, this clearing that you found yourself in.
Okay. So the first thing I want to do is I want to look at my team, and as a bonus action, I'm going to use Bardic Inspiration and say, "We got this, guys!" And everyone gets 8 temporary hit
Oh,
points.
damn.
So make sure to add that. I should do it for me as well.
Bards are cool.
Yeah, I forgot how much I like bards.
And then for my action, I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers on him, the war chief dude.
Okay.
So that's a wisdom save.
Okay. What's the DC?
16.
Okay. War Chief rolled. He only rolled a 10, so.
Okay, on a failed save, he takes 3d6 psychic and must immediately use his reaction to move as far away as its speed allows away from me.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. That's really bad. That's only 8. So yeah. So he has to run away. He can't move into obvious dangerous grounds such as fire or pit.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm going to strum my Saturn, and like a purplish blue aura like emanates from me, and the war chief is the only one looking at me, I guess, because that's the one I'm targeting, because I can only target one person. But I'm like, you should run the fuck away! And and so he immediately just runs away. And then I'm going to say to the one in front of me, your buddy's running away. You might want to follow.
And as you do so, the war chief says, "Yeah, just you got this. Keep going. I'm just gonna be back there." And you see him slowly backing away from you. Do you have anything else?
No, I can't disengage. So I guess I'll just stay in melee and just like hold up my Saturn like to defend myself.
With that, it's Shan's turn then.
Okay, there were still people glowing, right? Wasn't there like a note left?
No, the person that was glowing is now crunched beneath the gnome's foot.
Yeah. I'm trying
Uh,
to stay out of the snow. I'm standing on him.
anyone that is in melee with someone that didn't die?
So right now, Rorx, Matt's character, is in melee with a goblin.
Okay.
Or
Well-
with an orc, I believe.
It's an orc, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, as a bonus action, I'm going to use my Wraith Strike. So where he is standing now, he just poofs in a mist and reappears behind the orc that is trying to deal with Rorx. And I stab him in the back with my dagger.
Okay.
And let's see here. So that would then give me advantage. So I believe then I also can use my sneak attack because it is
Yes.
at advantage. So
Correct. And you're in 5 feet of an ally.
okay, so 14 or okay, so That is... Oh, that's a lot. That's so 23 to hit.
Yeah, it hits.
Okay, so I need some dice. I need 3 of these, and I need 1 of these. All right. Okay, 4, 8, 7, 14, 20 damage.
How do you obliterate this orc?
So as he reappears, he's already just going in for the strike, and just right in the base of the skull, just dagger right through.
Nice. Okay.
And I'm sure it just splatters me with blood like, ew, what? It hit me in the face!
I just imagine the tiger.
Okay.
Because you just made a vegetable.
Do you have any other actions you'd like to use?
No, that was my bonus and action, so I think I'm good.
Okay. Last but not least, Prius, what are you doing?
Is there anything? Oh, the thing that hit me, is that still alive?
Yes. I believe you were in melee with a goblin.
Alright, well, she lifts up her sword, she puts it toward her face, and she says, I hear you, Nissan. And
Oh my god.
she swings
Beep,
at...
beep, she says.
She swings at the goblin, or orc? Goblin?
Goblin.
Alright, goblin.
I was like, Prius, okay, like a car.
Beep, beep.
Oh no. That's a 10. Oh, 11.
A 10.
11.
11. Surprisingly, 11 misses.
Okay. Extra attack.
What's that?
Extra attack?
Oh, you have another attack? Okay, go for it.
17.
Right?
What's that?
17.
17 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Eight.
Yeah. How does Nissan kill this goblin?
Just right in half. It's just one swing. Right through the waist. Clean in half.
All right. Yeah, the goblin freezes for a second before he gets Darth Mauled and topples over in half. Okay. Is that the all of your turn?
How many more things are around?
There is the orc war chief that is backing up, and there is a goblin that was next to Shand, but because Shand poofed out of existence and repoofed somewhere else, he's just kind of looking around, wondering what happened to the rest of his team.
Oh, well, I think I'm pretty good there then.
Okay. Next we have Nova.
Nova will look at the war chief and say, you have hindered us for the last time. And I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt. I'm going to see if it works. See if I hit. Probably not. It's only like a 14.
Okay. Yep, that misses.
Fuck!
Do you have anything else you'd like to do?
I don't have any bonus actions that don't cost spell slots. That's all I got.
Okay.
Oh,
Next we have Bink. What are you doing?
What's left on the field? There's the
War chief and a random goblin.
What is closer, I guess? Where can my long gnomish legs get me?
I would say that the little goblin is closest to you because the war chief is under the effect of a spell of one of your companions and is backing up into the forest again.
Because I'm really fast and I can really get far in 25 feet, so I could probably only get to the goblin.
Probably.
He will scurry over to the goblin, and when he's 10 feet away, put up his glaive and just head down and try to run into him and like ram him.
Like a charge attack?
Well, no, just flavor. He
Oh, yeah,
has 10-foot
no,
reach,
I
so
understand,
like, yeah. But yeah, charge attack, I just don't have that option. That's a 16, so 23 to hit?
Yep. 23, you will hit it.
Okay.
Are you doing like an unarmored attack or?
No, I'm using the glaive to like...
Oh, you're using
like,
the
yeah,
glaive.
the
Got
glaive
it.
is 10
Okay.
feet, so like he's like putting it down and he's like gonna like
Oh,
poke
I
him.
see. Yep. You're gonna shish kebab him.
Yeah, I'm gonna skewer him. I'm gonna skewer him and then marinate him. It's only 11 damage.
How do you kill this goblin?
Oh, he will jump. He killed one goblin, right? He'll jump off the other goblin and like scurry through the snow. Like you see, like snow just coming up, and he can't get any traction. And then all of a sudden, he just boom, and he's gonna put his thing up, and he's just gonna like get him right in the stomach, and then lift him up and like boom, put it in the snow. And you see the goblin is like impaled, like Bob the Impaler, and it just slowly slings down, and he's just like, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome.
And then I guess as a bonus action, he'll try to like flick it off, and like it just he can't get it off because it's just so stuck on there. So he'll put it out, and then he'll like retract the pole, and it'll just go down to like the 2 feet. So it's not on his weapon anymore, and try to shake the blood off. And I don't think he can do really. How far away is the chieftain from him?
I would say you've moved 10 feet to this little goblin that you skewered, which I think the glaive gives you reach, doesn't it?
Yeah, I have a 10-foot reach, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you probably only had to use 10 feet. So I would say, I think he is probably like 20 feet, 25 feet away from you. So, okay, do you have anything else?
Yeah. He's gonna scream to the chieftain. He goes, "We're like in a wooden glade, right? Like wood, like open."
Yep.
Okay. He's gonna go,
there's evergreens all around you. They're all snow covered and heavily like weighed down by the snow.
and he's under like a fear spell.
He is.
Yeah, he'll be like, "Hey, did you hear this? This forest is haunted! Boo!" And then he is gonna manifest an echo, and it's gonna be like this shimmery little like. It looks just like him, but it's like this translucent thing, and it's gonna pop up like 5 feet in front of the chieftain. And he'll be like,
shit, okay.
"Spooky!"
All right.
That's all he can do.
Okay. The Orc War Chief, he, seeing that his team is now a bloody mess on the white snow ground, he, still under the fear effect and now seeing this spectral image appear in front of him, he turns tail and runs into the forest. At this point, you start to take chase after him. But it doesn't take very long before you see his head jerk back. And he falls face first into the ground. And it's at this time you see some horses start approaching you. All laden with elves, clearly of this forest. And you see one has a crossbow leveled up to his eyesight as the horses come to a slow and a stop. You see these riders. They are the first one, the one in the front. You can see that he must come from a very noble house because he is very well dressed, though he is in armor. He he has shoulder-length curly auburn hair, green eyes, and his scale mail is painted this rust color. It almost resembles that of a dragon upon looking upon it. He is athletically built. He has this coppery skin, and there's just an air about him as he keeps his chin very high and is purveying the scene that he comes upon. You can see the glade full of blood not too far from where you're at now, and he's looking down at the orc chieftain, and then his eyes fall on you. You also see the guy with the crossbow. He is a man with straight red hair, a slender build, and these milky colored eyes, like a very, very light gray. He's wearing all crimson leathers. And he's kind of wiry, and like there's just like a perpetual smirk on his face. You see a hooded figure in the back, and the cloak obscures most of their features, but you see their hand reaching out, holding the reins of the horse. You can see that there are not tattoos, but like scarred tissue running up the hand in intricate designs that look like swirls and sigils running up their arm. The last person you see in this group is they're actually on foot. It looks like a man. It's an elf. They are bald, and they wear these grayish blue baggy clothes. And they have this bronze skin and like deep chocolate brown eyes. And Shand, the one with the straight red hair, he looks over at you. You know this guy. This is Dap, and he runs in the same group as you. In fact, you've only ever had one encounter, but it wasn't good, because that was also the encounter his brother was in. And his brother was the only one who didn't make it back. And you can't help but feel he still holds some resentment over you. But he just looks you up and down. He doesn't say anything yet. It's the leader that speaks first, the man with the curly hair, and he says, "Oh, what have we here? Is this the little Queen's ragtag group that was sent out here? Aren't you cute?"
I'll step forward and like keep my Saturn out and just like be scrubbing on it just effortlessly. And I'll say, we were tasked by the Queen to pick up something for her. What do you know of it?
Oh, nothing. We were just sent out here as backup. We noticed a little scuffle ahead, and so we thought we'd check it out. You're welcome, by the way, for us taking care of this little loose end of yours.
We had it handled. I mean, as I gestured to the rest of us, we can take care of ourselves, and we don't necessarily need any of your help.
I'm sure you do. And with that, the rest of his group starts to chuckle. Well, we'll hang back then and let you do all this dirty work. We won't bother you anymore, but do watch yourselves. These woods are dangerous.
Yeah, you hear they're haunted.
I have a couple questions.
Uh-huh.
Are these horses pretty big? Like, are they like a war horse type size?
Yes. These look like the standard issue that you would see for the Queen's troops that get sent out. They are much like the elves that ride them. The forest horses tend to be very lithe and very tall, but also powerfully built.
I just remembered something which means I can't do this. But I'm assuming they're all elves, right?
Yes, all of them are elves, as far as you can tell.
Well, then never mind.
I'm
elves can't-
going to walk up behind Rorx. Did I say it? Rorx?
Yep.
And put my hand on his shoulder and go, I think what my companion meant to say, my lord, is thank you for your help.
You
Allies,
just see
are,
Shan like,
allies are always appreciated in these times.
I'm sure they are, Daxto. And as he says that word, you flinch a little bit because the Dark Elves are not seen out here very often.
On my staff next to me, Atlas opens one of his eyes and starts hissing quietly. Softly.
I have a universe question.
Okay.
Are dark elves immune to being charmed?
Yes.
I believe they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like in character I would know that, so I'm not going to try and do the thing I was going to do.
And for our audience, the Midnight Book, which this campaign is based off of, has some limitations on the kind of characters you can play. I've decided to lift a lot of those limitations. So if you're familiar with the Midnight story or campaign setting, just know that I allowed all the players to play pretty much whatever they wanted, except for clerics and warlocks. So, back to the game. Unless there's any other questions.
You guys got magic? No,
So, the leader swirls his finger and the team seems to back off from you, except for the straight-haired fellow with the red hair. He lingers behind a little bit, and he looks at you, Shand, and he says, in the secret tongue that your organization uses, the syndicate may have forgotten what you did, but I still remember. And he joins the rest of his group.
That man has an air to him that doesn't like you.
oh, you got that, did you?
Well, I've never seen anyone squint quite so hard at someone, with still keeping his eyes open. The tension was visible. Yes.
Palpable, yeah.
What did you do to him? Did you sleep with his wife?
Did you sleep with his brother?
Or
Did you
his
sleep with
husband?
him?
Or with him? Is he an ex-lover?
No, he's just an overly bitter man.
We all know a bitter man, I'm sure.
I've been a few
So-
men. They are very bitter.
His brother died. He thinks
okay.
it's my fault.
Is it your fault?
No, it's his brother's fault.
Can you prove that?
He's dead. I'm not.
I suppose. I've outlived many a person, but it doesn't make it my fault.
Exactly.
Okay. There are bodies here if you wish to loot them for anything, but as a reminder, in the Midnight Campaign, because of the Dark Lord's conquest, money has very little value here.
It's time to
You
hashtag
can't-
loot the bodies.
Right? I'll go. I killed a couple goblins and then helped. In my head, I scared that chieftain to death. So I'll start with the chieftain. Is there anything that worth? I don't know if you want me to roll for anything, but
Yeah, roll an investigation. Let's do it.
I will,
Quinceanera, 15.
Quinceanera.
15? Okay. Yeah, so on the chieftain, you do find his great axe, which is actually in pretty good condition. It much similar to how he acted in battle. You imagine this battle axe has not seen a lot of use. It was more of a symbol for him to control his troops. And what did you? What were
I
you
was going to
looking
give him
for?
inspiration, but it's okay.
Oh, okay, cool. So you do find his battle axe,
Okay.
his great axe, I should say.
What kind of art? What kind of clothes is he wearing?
So he is donned in chainmail, actually.
Okay.
So if you wanted to take that, you could.
I don't-
This does look like maybe a shoddily produced chainmail.
I was just going to see if he had any material. I think Bink's just looking for something to token to take that he
Like a fang? Take a fang.
Yeah, something like
rip
that.
teeth out.
He's something like that. He of all everyone he kills, he just puts it something in a little pouch, like a little serial killer.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he likes to take trophies.
He's
It's
just to
not
remember
You're
people.
not a serial killer if you're doing it for good, right?
Yeah, no, it's just he's a killer. But yeah, it's I was thinking he might I'm trying to figure out what he would do because I'm thinking if he had material, he'd rip off the material and start knotting it together and something like that. I don't know. I was seeing what I could find to figure out what his tick is.
So yeah, I'll say that this war chieftain, he's old for an orc, because you know that because of the constant state of war that this land is in all the time, and the orcs being the main foot soldiers, that orcs usually have a short lifespan. That being so, their tusks don't always grow to their full potential.
Oh,
This war chieftain has tusks that extend up almost past his eyes, and additionally, he must have had someone embellish these tusks.
Ooh.
He's had these intricately carved designs etched into his own tooth. And you can see that someone must have taken some dyes and maybe some mica flakes or something and pressed it into those grooves. So they are this iridescent, multicolored designs running up and down the tooth. Definitely worthy of a trophy.
Yeah, I think he'll try to rip those out and be like, "He had a horrible dentist. I don't know what he was doing. This is shouldn't look this way."
Make a strength check?
Oh, yeah.
I'll inspire him.
Oh, okay. You're inspired.
Be
Strength check?
You got this, dude.
Oh, well, I think I need that. What do you get for the inspiration? D8?
It's a D8, yep.
Okay. I rolled a 3, but I have a plus 6. And I rolled a 2, so 11. That's not very good.
I will say that you do good enough.
Okay.
Like, one of the tooth kind of breaks a little short, but the other one you get out, but you take some of the gum with it.
Yeah. Ooh,
so-
raw material. And then I'll go and do the same to like the little goblins. I'll like, I think I'll just take a like piece of their clothing, like rip off like
Well,
while I'm like harvesting, they could do stuff.
while you're
I
desecrating
mean, they have
bodies.
big ears if you want those.
I
so.
just ears kind of freak me out. That's a little too like.
Okay.
What was the guy from The Walking Dead that had like the ear necklace? Daryl. That freaked me out.
Mhm.
Okay.
I remember getting the ear.
Glad we know where the
Yeah.
where the
Yeah,
Well,
line
like
your
the-
is.
necklace, yeah.
Yeah. The
We can
ears- Yeah.
we can do dentistry on
Yeah.
someone,
Dentry's
but
fun. Yeah. Dentry's
taking the
great.
ear is too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nova will walk up to you while you're desecrating a goblin, and go.
That he did not kill,
yeah, that he did
but he
not
thinks
kill.
he killed.
Blink, my dear.
Yeah, it's Bink, but yeah.
Blink, whatever.
Yeah, I'm Blink.
Are you taking any eyeballs today?
Oh, I don't really plan on taking any eyeballs. Do you need some?
Oh, not me. Of course not.
Oh.
I will put my staff next to the head of the dead goblin, and I'll look at Atlas and go, "It's time for dinner, my dear." And it'll start slithering down the length of the staff, and then like get to the bottom, and then latch itself onto an eye and rip it out.
And I'll be like, I think he has to eat, but I mean, it's cool.
Yeah. Does it just squash like a grape?
Probably. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I think Bink probably just like throws up in the snow. He's like ripping out teeth. That's the line. Oh, that snake ate.
The only body part I'm okay with
Yeah.
is teeth.
It's a treat for him. A favorite of his,
Yes.
if you will.
It's got that munch and that crunch.
Ugh.
Lots of protein in the eye. It's good for a growing boy.
Oh, will this make me grow?
What?
Will I grow?
No. I maybe. Are you at your full capacity?
Maybe. I don't know.
There's not
I've
much.
stopped growing, but if you
that
said
can-
this makes a good boy grow,
It will.
I'm a good boy.
Yeah, but are you? But only if you haven't fully reached.
Mm.
How old are you? I don't.
I'm like 23, but
I mean,
like,
you could maybe do with some protein. You're quite lean.
yeah, I run a lot.
Hmm.
Run around town, and I point at
I'm
the
sure
bar.
Atlas will share an eye with you. Atlas, will you share an eye? Looks up at you and goes.
I don't know if that's a yes or a no. Maybe next time.
So
That's how I
after
respond to the
collecting,
snake.
After collecting your trophies and having a snack,
Is that considered a short rest?
if you would like to take a short rest, you are welcome to.
Oh God!
Did anyone take any damage other than me?
No, I didn't take any.
I did. Just a little.
So if you use any hit die, you get an extra D6. Because I'll be playing while we do this. So
Oh, those lo-fi
if you
beats.
use
Music,
One-
dinner
Yeah,
music.
exactly.
one hit die. So yeah, feel free to use a hit die, and I get my spell slots back. I mean my Bardic Inspiration back.
While you play music, Bink will extend his like glaive and be like, "Look at this trick!" And then he's gonna jam the glaive into the ground, and then he's just gonna start swinging around on the pole to the music. This little 3-foot goblin's just gonna pole dance for you guys while you're resting.
Oh yeah.
I think this could be better with some tall shoes.
Oh.
Heeled boots. I think I have a pair in my bag. They might
Oh.
be too big for you though.
Oh. If they're magic, they would shrink to my little feet.
Oh no, they're not magical. They're
Oh.
just decorative.
Oh, then they'll probably fall off.
All right. So
5
what's
minutes in, we got a gnome dancing.
Do we know where we're going from here?
Yes. So you are heading towards the old town of reading my book. Um, you're heading towards the old town of Vandalin. So Vandalin used to be a elvish city, but over the eons, it has been wrestled between the control of the elves and the orcs. And eventually, after the last war with Isrador, Vandalin was lost, and it was razed to the ground, and in its place, a fortress was built. But this fortress is all underground in a series of caves that were dug out by the goblins and the orcs. And you have been told that this is where you need to head to find this artifact. And so after your rest, you head out, searching for the direction north as you move further and further up into the mountainous region where this is found. And these mountains are known as the Bighorn Mountains. And Vandalin is in a plain that runs in between two columns of these great peaks. And the land up here can best be described as tundra. The ground is frozen solid. You can see what remains of some dead grass underneath some of the snow, but for the most part, it's ice pack and just hard, crunchy snow. The temperatures around here have dipped considerably. It's quite inhospitable here. And though it's expected that it's to be colder up north, ever since Isrador's expansion of his control of the land, his very wrath and will seems to suck the life and the heat from the places he conquers. And so what would normally be a okay winter is bitter up here. You start approaching this valley between the mountains, and you can see up ahead different encampments that nestle between the ruins of the old town that laid on atop. And you can see cave entrances closer towards the rockier edges of this town where the mountains begin. What do you do?
So we know the fortress is underground, right?
Mhm.
It's underneath the city. So we don't necessarily need to go to the city up top, right? We probably should just go into the caves. That's probably the best route.
Yes, so you were told that the artifact is being kept in the fortress, which is in the caves underground.
Okay, so we don't need to bother with the city. Do we know about anything about, are some cave entrances more dangerous, less dangerous, more patrolled, less patrolled, anything like that? Like any sort of forewarning about which one to take? Or is it just eeny, meeny, miny, mo?
Why don't you do... I will say, because this is enemy territory, not much is known about this fortress. So I think I'll need a perception check to evaluate if you see a better entrance.
23.
Okay. That is more than enough for you to see that you're hiding in some bushes and some trees and observing the encampment in the fortress, and you see that the patrols seem to take a certain rhythm, that the guards seem to change out at certain intervals, and that you notice that one entrance is kind of far off to the left-hand side towards the west. And that because it's so remote, it takes a very long time for the changing of the guard to get there. And that the guards that are currently there seem kind of lazy or impatient and tend to leave early. And so you think that there is maybe a window to get into the caves without being seen.
Okay. I will reiterate that to the group and say, you might want to head over there. Is there any cover or that we can use to get close to that area?
Yes, so there is definitely still some trees and bushes in the area. Where the town used to be is raised. Like, there are ruins, but there is no foliage anymore. It's been chopped up for firewood, and you can see that they've slowly been chopping away at the forest to both retreat it back so that they have better line of sight, and also to use for their own purposes, whether that be for tools, weapons, or firewood. So you would have, going around, you will have to kind of take a detour. It will take longer, but than if you just cut across the field. Either way, I would take a stealth check from the group to get there, but depending on which route you take, the DC will change.
Okay. I will start guiding everyone that way. And I would know that Prius probably is going to be the loudest because she is in scale now, correct?
Yeah.
If we are
So
planning on being stealthy, I do know a spell to help.
Yes, anything that you can help. I was going to inspire her, but perhaps we would like both. So I will inspire Prius as well.
I will tap my staff on the ground, and ashes for and cast pass without a trace. Blah 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 blah. Everyone gets +10 to their stealth.
Okay.
So, Paige, that's a D8 you can add to your stealth check.
Okay.
We are taking the long way around, yes?
Unless you want to go out in the open. I assume that's not preferable.
So you're going the long way?
Yeah, we're going the long way to try and get to the one on the west.
Okay.
That's less patrol.
Okay. What are your totals then? We'll start with Rorx.
35.
Okay. And
17.
Shand?
Also 35.
Woohoo!
And Bink?
20. I also roll at disadvantage.
Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry.
That's all right. I rolled well. I rolled 20.
That's solid.
I mean, I
Nova?
rolled a 6.
30?
But
30. Okay. And last but not least, Prius.
24.
4?
24.
Oh,
24.
20.
Oh, goodness.
Quattro.
I was like, yeah, I was going to say 4 total? How is that possible with +10?
Yeah. It's that disadvantage.
So you
She's all
easily meet
no
DC
dex.
of 12. So
Oh, I like the cards.
yeah. So you easily dodge in between the trees and the bushes, and you get to a point that is it's still like a 60-foot trek, but you see the guards leave really early, and as they leave, you start diving in between snow dunes and obfuscating yourself from the oncoming guards that will replace them, and you easily make it inside of the cave system. From here, who is going to take point on exploring the caves?
First of all, is it dark in here or is it well lit already?
It is very dark in here.
I am glowing softly
Oh.
because all my tattoos are bioluminescent.
How much
Okay.
light does that give us, though?
Oh no, it's soft. It's like glow in the dark stars in your bedroom.
Yeah, we can just skip.
Right.
Right.
I was going to cast light at the end of my
Do we
turn,
need that?
so
Does
that
anyone-
we have like a 20-foot radius of dim and then an additional 20 feet. So
Okay.
we
See in the
have
dark?
some light.
Even.
I'll wait
You
till
still
we
need
know
some
the
kind of
wait's
light.
in.
Oh.
I will say, just as a DM ruling, that if for whatever reason you are plunged into darkness, that your bioluminescence will count as 10 feet of dim light.
Oh.
Ah, sweet.
Yes.
Did you say that
Rorx
you were-
lights
Oh,
up it-
my poor human friend, and I cast a halo of dancing lights around your head.
Oh my god.
This is like a
You're
rave.
lit up.
You're lit AF.
We no longer have Pass Without a Trace because Dancing Lights is concentration.
We are in the cave now. The only thing here
Yep.
to harm us is bears.
Do you know that for a fact? I feel like they probably are inside too. But, I mean, we don't know. We'll find out, right?
Depending on how far down we go, there could be a great number of evils.
Down, to
That's
top of
very
town.
true. I will, as a note, I will not be playing because I know that it would echo and they would probably be able to hear me. So
Right.
I will not be playing for the foreseeable future unless we absolutely need it.
Right. So, with that, I will be taking either wisdom or survival checks to navigate the tunnels to try and find your way deeper into the cavern. Who wants to take point on this?
I have spent all my life in the underground. I will lead the way. I'm also proficient in survival with a +7.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you're much
Perfect.
better than me.
So go ahead and roll your first survival check.
21.
Okay. Yes. So you easily move forward, and in the low light, guided by the dancing lights and the light cast by his Saturn. Excuse me.
You don't have to switch
You start navigating the tunnels, and there are a few like twists and turns in different directions, but you, opposite of the Lord of the Rings, you are heading towards the places that smell worse, because you imagine that where there are goblins and orcs, they're probably guarding whatever they guard in this fortress. So, yeah. So, I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, actually, yeah. So go ahead and make me another wisdom or survival check.
17.
Once again, you very easily navigate these tunnels until you come across a area that you can see there's alcoves dug into the walls, and each of these alcoves are barred. They are covered in these gates with doors and locks on them. Are you doing anything here?
I have
Do we know
no
anything
talent for
about-
locks, and I stare at you.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
I look at these locked gates and I say, I have no talent for locks. And then I stare at Shand.
Oh, wait, hold on. Do we want to let whatever's in there out? Can we see or hear anything in those barred areas?
Yeah, I will say, since you have the light up, you can clearly shine it in and see. Of these alcoves, and I'll say that there's 6 of them, you see that in 4 of them there are non-moving bodies. They look shriveled up and they have tattered clothing or robes upon them. You see little buckets in the corner. You see scraps like bones and such, probably some sort of like meal that was thrown at them. You see some rotting bread here and there. And then you look in another and you do see a body, but this one moves. And he looks up and squints blinkingly into the light, and you can see this is a very pale-looking elf. He is wearing what appears to have been like pearl white robes, but they are all dirty and tattered at this point. He wears a necklace that speaks of not being of a highborn status, but being a like he ascended to a higher station in life. And he has dark eyes, almost black eyes. And he looks very gaunt, very pale, like he hasn't eaten in days. He mutters, "Who's there?"
I'll put up my hands so people like back off, and I'll slowly approach. And with my light, I'll like try and cover it so it's not blinding him. And as I approach, I will like look around to see if I see any like guards or anything nearby. Like, is this just like one straight tunnel that has these alcoves and it just keeps going?
Yeah. You make a perception check, I guess.
That's like 12.
You don't hear any guards or any movement up or down the tunnels, so you feel like you're alone right now.
Okay.
Except with this guy.
I'm gonna quietly say in Elven, we're here. He's an elf, right?
He is an elf.
We're here on behest of Queen Aradel. We're looking for an artifact. Who are you?
And he rolls his eyes up in relief and says, "Oh, Aradel, she has not forgotten us." And he says, I am but a humble merchant. I was traveling these woods selling to the northern elves, and I was captured by a raiding party.
Can I make it? Oh, I'm not very insightful.
You can do whatever you want.
I'm gonna try an insight check.
Can we hear them talking?
Are you listening to them?
Yes.
Okay, then you can hear them.
Do you speak Elvish?
I'm an elf.
So
I am
yeah.
Okay. That's only a 13.
Only a 13.
What'd you roll this year?
Oh, I didn't. Insight. Oh, that's not very high either. And that's only 10.
She speaks Southern Elven. She doesn't speak that Northern Elven shit.
A 13 and a 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
I speak the Underdark Elven, yeah. I will squat down next to Rorx and hand the elf through the bars a piece of ration.
He looks genuinely like he appreciates your kind offer and hungrily takes your ration, and I mean, he seems honest.
Based on his robes, does he look like a merchant? To me, when initially I thought of like a holy person. Like I was thinking like a priest of some sort, but when you said merchant, like that threw me. Is that like a common garb for a merchant?
Yeah, so merchants tend to be richer in society because they are those who are trading goods. So it's very likely that, in fact, his robes look like they come from the southern portion of the continent towards where it meets the sea. And they are known for their very fine, silky garments, which is what he seems to be wearing.
Well, you look very gaunt. As I can see you've been in here quite a while. Take it easy on the food. You don't want to get too full too fast and get sick. And I'll take out my water skin and hand him some water as well. What happened to all your friends? Did they just stop feeding you?
I don't know these folks here. Some of them were still alive when they brought me here, but they hardly feed us anything. They throw us scraps. So cruel. Please, please let me out of here. I'd be forever grateful. I have connections. I can get you the finest armor, the best weapons. If you get me out of here.
I don't think it's a matter of getting you out. I think it's a matter of making sure you're safe if you get out. I mean, can we look at the lock, if there is one, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Does it look... I guess I'll call over for Shand and say, can you take a look at this? I'm not good at that stuff, but maybe you can try?
Sure. I'll give it a go. Are we positive we want to let him out, though?
Of course he's...
Are you saying this out loud?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I will send you a message in your head and be like, maybe don't question if we're going to let him out loud, because he is desperate. And he might try and attack us, but there's a lot of us, and I think we'll be fine. He seems innocent and helpless. So go ahead.
Can I respond to you?
Let me check. You can reply and whisper, only you can hear. Yeah, you can respond.
You know for sure he is an elf and this isn't some sort of disguise?
As far as I can tell, he is genuine. The robes he is wearing matches robes from merchants in the south. Obviously much dirtier. So, I mean, his story checks out. Okay. And I didn't get any ill vibes from Nova when she was feeding him. So I assume we're in the clear. So I'm just worried he's not going to be able to handle himself once he gets out. And he's just going to run out and get himself killed.
Well, I'll give the lock a look and see if I can maybe pick it.
Yeah. Why don't you do alright, so you're looking at the lock, or what are you looking for?
I guess I'll see if I can unlock it.
Okay.
I will touch you and cast guidance.
Ooh, we have guidance and inspiration? Look at us.
Guided inspiration.
Go ahead and make a lockpicking check.
So it's Dex plus proficiency.
Holding his card.
He's proficient.
It reminds me of like those shows where they're like, I have the headphones and Matt has to guess what card he's holding, and he's like, Ace of Clubs. And he's like trying to figure out if he's telepathic or whatever.
Like from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, exactly.
As I'm actually looking at it, I stop for a moment, and I just want to double check. Can I tell if this is trapped at all?
Go ahead and you can do an investigation check.
Investigation. Oh, that's not good. That's a 9. I'm assuming that only applied to the lockpicking. Your
You applies to whatever you do
Guidance.
next.
The guidance, anything you roll, it's just a D4.
Yeah, so you can use the guidance if you'd like.
But it's only once. I think it's a single use.
I
okay.
can cast it again.
Yeah, it's a
13.
cantrip, so.
That's true.
The DC was 12.
Oh.
And as you go to unlock it, I touch you again.
Well, that was to make sure it wasn't.
Very
I know, but now I can touch you again and give you
Oh,
more
yeah.
guidance. I'll
So it
rest
wasn't
my
trapped?
hand
It was not
like
trapped.
lightly on your shoulder and like peek over you, and as I do, you feel like the warmth of magic spread through your like shoulders. Guidance.
Okay.
You feel a snake slither around you.
Ugh.
No, thank you. My anaconda don't want none of that anaconda near me.
Get to know my friends.
Ugh.
That is 12.
Oh,
DC was
Is that
14.
with the D4?
That was
Yeah.
the D4.
14.
Oof.
So, with a click, the padlock on this falls away, and you are able to open the creaky
I rolled a
steel
12.
door.
Yeah, you only did a
You
12.
only did a 12.
I did not mean
It was
your
12. It was
Oh.
12, not 20.
Oh,
What do you think it was?
I thought he said more.
No,
No,
it was 12.
no,
it was
it was
under
12.
14.
Oh, sorry.
No,
You do not open the lock.
Well,
Can I?
that was underwhelming.
Do you say it's like a wooden door with bars?
It's like, so the bars are kind of this it's a bar, the door is made out of the bars too, and they're like these rusty, like very rough, shoddy iron bars. Like,
And then it's just like a padlock on the bar on like the door.
yeah.
Can Bink jump up and grab onto the padlock and then put his legs on the like straddle the bar and then just like and try to rip it off?
Guidance?
Sure.
And,
Sure.
and inspiration.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I don't even know what that's going to be.
Yeah. So inspiration's
Strength check?
is a
Yeah,
D8,
so that,
and then a
we'll
D4
say-
for guidance.
what?
Yeah, it's a D8 and then a D4.
Okay. And this is
Okay,
strength
um,
check.
And it's a strength check of some sort. Probably athletics.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
so
say you can use athletics if you wish.
athletics. They're the same. I only rolled a 22 with that.
Only.
With everything?
Yeah.
But 17 was the DC.
17.
17 was your DC.
And so he gets up there and just like yanking on it, and then it breaks, and he flies back, and then just gets up
Yeah.
and like he's like, "That's how you pick locks. Did they teach you that in ninja school?"
Yeah, you fly back and you hit another set of like bars across the hall, and those just collapse in from the force that
See?
you used to
I did
yank
too.
this off.
Is there anything in there?
I hope
No,
that you
there's
aren't
dusty
embarrassed.
bones and like a decaying body.
No, I don't
I'm
know
gonna
why
kick
we
the-
didn't try that in the first
I'll
place.
kick the
actually.
ribcage.
You told us that your specialty was picking
Um,
locks.
Can I take the lock and just like
Yes, well,
hook it onto my belt loop so it looks like I have like a cool like belt buckle? Just,
Yeah.
like a little chastity
So-
belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably huge on me. I'll take it off. I'll take it off because it'll probably make noise.
You know,
But-
you're
Yeah,
small
definitely.
enough if you're in need of a belt. I'm sure Atlas would offer his services.
Yeah.
Is the snake
We'll-
just
We'll see
like
if
it's-
maybe the merchant's got a belt. He's gonna
Oh,
like
yeah.
Um,
run over to the merchant.
So The merchant introduces himself and he says, "Thank you so much for freeing me. I am eternally in your debt. My name is Nylor. I don't know how to thank you, but if it's all right, I don't know where you're headed, but if I could just follow you closely so that you are obviously better prepared than I am."
We are on our way to a very dangerous place.
No. And I feel ashamed to even ask it. I shouldn't have been this far north. I got myself in this trouble myself. But I feel I'd be much safer with you.
We will offer you our protection, but you must do everything we ask of you to ensure your safety.
Absolutely. Anything you ask. And are you doing anything else?
Dude. Okay, look, me like to Nylor, like, hey, just like and we're like huddle up. We're like, do we need to tie him up or like bind his hands? Like,
I think you'll be fine.
Why
I
do
think
you
so.
want his teeth?
He's
no, I only not unless he's but I just so he doesn't.
He is a humble
Or-
merchant.
Yeah, I don't think he's
Are you?
dangerous. Like, can we see if he has any weapons, like, just by looking at him?
You can see that,
He might have.
like I said, he is very skinny, emaciated. His robes are very tattered, and he was a thin person to start with, and so there isn't a lot to his imagination. He's not concealing or carrying anything on him. Anything that he might have had was probably stolen when he was captured.
That's what I was thinking. He's not a threat. We could break him in half if we really need to. I wouldn't worry about him.
Okay.
You told me not to say anything out loud about letting him out.
Well,
and you'll just.
We're obviously whispering this and
Yeah,
not
he's
saying it
over
loud enough
there.
for him to hear.
He can't even hear me.
You speak loudly for someone so small.
I got big lungs.
It's all lungs in here.
It's just all.
It's all lungs.
It's all
But
lungs.
actually, that's my race, lungs.
I am not worried of him betraying us. I am worried of him perishing. We are going to a very dangerous area.
Yes, that's my thought too. But
Well,
if he
Dad,
wants
you were
to come
dead
with
there.
us, I mean,
I suppose.
the more
Dad
the
is dead.
merrier.
Jingles my teeth. Purse.
And yet you're afraid of the snake.
It's slippery.
He has his.
Okie
We're best friends.
I'll grab Nylor like by the arm, and be like, "Come on, buddy, let's go."
And he says, "Oh, thank you, sir."
There's not any other living people in any of these other cells, right? Everyone else is super duper dead.
I freed
Yeah,
that other
everyone
guy.
else is
he was
definitely
dead.
dead.
I freed him.
Yes, his bones will thank you.
I played a little like do 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 do.
Prius, how are you
Rorx
So-
was teaching me music.
He's an innocent man. He should stay in this.
doing? Yes.
So
Remember.
you continue down the hallway, and I'll take another wisdom or survival check.
I got this. Probably. Oh no, that's cocked. It's okay. 24?
0.4 easily beats the DC I had. You continue along, and along the way, you start to see more rooms with a purpose. You pass what appears to be a barracks where there are multiple beds. You even see some sleeping goblins and orcs in here, but they seem out and of no threat. So it's up to you if you wish to continue along or to take them out. But
If we kill them now, they will not.
I will say
have
that
later.
it might cause an alarm if one of them were to wake up.
How many are there of either type?
I would say that there's probably 3 orcs and 5 goblins.
Should we do the old SS? Smother and stab! Smother and stab!
I mean,
This guy's terrifying.
might not be a bad idea. Take them out. We won't want anything coming up from behind us. But I'm not very quiet, as you can probably guess. So, and I'll take out my rapier, but I sure can pokey poke.
Oh yes, all my magic is quite loud.
Are they all in one room? Are they...
Yes, so it's just rows and rows of these cots or beds, and they're interspersed between the different beds. They're not like all in a row, but I will say, Shand, I believe you have something that might help in this.
I mean, I've got a few things I could try to do. Let's see. Yeah, if I use my lurk, I can. Jeez. Okay, yeah. So if I use my lurk, I can essentially just move, and no one would like be able to notice at all, right? They're sleeping.
Correct.
So I could just kind of like slowly walk through, just.
Yeah, the smother and stab. We talked about that.
And you have silencing strike, do you not?
Yes. I can only do
Yeah.
that once.
Mm.
You actually gonna murder these creatures? They've done nothing to us.
But if
They
they wake up,
exist.
they will do everything to us.
You can't know that.
And they're also...
We're deep within the enemy's territory.
When you found me, what did you not understand about assassin?
I don't agree with
These
killing
are-
things.
He is
These
an
are
ass.
definitely...
He's not innocent. Stab.
You're supposed to smother it first!
You go do the next one then.
Okay. Can I pick up a pillow from an empty cot and smother and stab?
Yes, you can. So I will say, for time's sake, you, having made your choice, start going bed to bed and assassinating these sleepers. And some give you a little struggle, but none seem to wake up and clear the room easily.
Was this not honorable to you, Prius?
No. This is awful.
That's a good thing you
I
didn't
will
do
say
it.
that you do find some provisions throughout the room. So you may take those if you wish for your journey ahead.
Like food?
Like
Yes.
food.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's mostly dried meats and
Little Debbie's.
what passes for bread up here.
I'll
Right, I wanna look.
I'll hand a small piece. I'm gonna slowly feed this guy that we found in the cage, slowly,
Nylor.
so
Yeah.
that he doesn't like accidentally make himself sick on food. But I'll give him like bites.
Yep.
Oh, thank you so much.
Nylor,
It's-
do you have anything to protect yourself?
I'm afraid I don't. They took anything I had, and I'm afraid you know how magic is banned in these lands. And, well, I had a few trinkets. They were just small common things, but they were all taken from me when I was captured. Frankly, it's unlucky that they didn't kill me outright for having them in my possession. But
Well,
Is
I have this. Can you use it? And he pulls out a giant great axe he stole from that goblin.
I'm afraid I'm much too weak right now. I can hardly stand on my own 2 legs right now.
are any of these?
How about this? And he just pulls out like a 3-foot quarterstaff.
Why are you keeping all of these things?
3 foot? 3 foot.
I could certainly use that to lean against,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So he'll take your quarterstaff and,
I got
and
it.
start using it as a walking stick.
Yeah. That's what I got. No, you all got that?
Can we look through like the orcs and whatnot, see if they have any armor to give him? Just like basic, like leather armor or something.
Yeah, so they do have some leather armor. So you offer it to him, and he will say, "Oh, thank you so much for looking after me."
Is there like a chest in here, like maybe where they would put these people's possessions?
Yeah, everyone has a little foot locker. What?
Sounded like you said fuck locker.
Oh, yeah. Their foot locker is next to the foot
They have
locker.
a foot locker, and then they have a foot locker.
Sometimes the foot locker is in the foot locker. Ironically, it's a box they bought at a store called Foot Locker because it's just a shoe box that you put all your fuck toys in. That's your foot locker in your right.
Yeah.
Isn't that how it is?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Like a lot of
exactly
steps.
how it is.
Well, yeah, you put your.
So
I was just wondering
looking
if
through
any-
their foot lockers.
Yeah, I was just wondering if any of the things that they might have taken off the prisoners would be stored in here. Can I start opening up boxes?
Make an investigation check.
Investigation. I'm not smat. Smat's not my skill.
What?
12. I don't have a high
You
enough.
find
Oh,
in
neither
some
do I.
of the goblins' fuck lockers, you find some like colorful beads and buttons, and shiny rocks.
I take a handful of them and I present them to Bink.
Ooh, these are beautiful.
I found them. They must be trinkets of the goblins.
Oh,
Would you like them?
yes. And he opens up
I just dumped them in there.
my teeth bag. Thank
I
you.
dumped them into the teeth bag.
Otherwise, you don't see anything really of value in here.
I could take the buttons
Anything
and
else?
sew them onto your jacket.
Yes. Onto my cloak like consolation.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Or a map.
I'm
a map
quite,
of where we've killed people.
I'm quite handy with embroidery. If you'd like me
I
to,
would love that.
of course, when we have some downtime.
Yes. Next time I dance for you, you can embroider. I'll entertain as you embroider.
Beautiful. That sounds beautiful.
Oh my god.
So,
Who knew? Who knew when we created? So it's the first
Travis, this is a really serious story.
This is the weirdest grimdark
I'm really sorry.
dark, serious. People are dying. You're just murder.
We've got
murder
Prius with
hoboing,
Nissan.
like,
Her
but also making fun of the corpses.
Did you ever think you would have a murder stripper?
Nope.
Yes. Neither did I. 2 hours ago, I didn't think that was a thing. But it is. That's what roleplay does.
He's afraid
Magic.
of snakes, though.
Don't like no stays. My anaconda don't want none.
He is not an anaconda.
He is to me. He's huge.
He's a little white snake.
Oh.
He's like little. He curls.
But
up.
I'm only
He's
3 feet tall. He's huge.
He's still not that big.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay.
So, you continue back down the hallway, and the rooms seem to multiply in number. You seem to be approaching a very busy area here. And up ahead, you see this hallway seems to end in a room, and you see some sconces lit on the other side of it. Through the door, you can see a few bags and barrels in there. It looks like it's some sort of storeroom. Do you approach it?
I'll put out my light if I can see that there's already lit sconces. And I'll gesture for Shand to be like, go check it out.
Guidance. In case you're doing anything.
Yeah, I suppose I'll go take a peek, see.
Can I give him the help action? I'll go up and show him how to do it.
You could assist him.
Yeah.
So,
So you're going to try and stealth ahead?
yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a stealth, please.
You help him stealth
I thought
by
it was a
tying
door.
rags to his shoes. Help action.
Oh.
They're already cloth.
Now they're double claws.
Now they're double claw.
I would put booties on your booties.
Jesus, this is a consistent roll on this. Okay, I'm gonna.
Is it a bad roll?
Let's see here. Stealth, you said?
Yep.
You know what? I'll just add it, because why not? Okay, so 22.
That is a DC of 15. You quietly
I love
approach this doorway and peer in,
Josh, you
and
said you use a little lighter board.
you see more piles and stacks of barrels and bags. This is clearly a storeroom of some sort, and inside you do see a few creatures standing around. Let me look and see here. The guards you see you see a couple of orcs, and you see 4 goblins. And each of them is like trying to hold back this dire wolf creature on a leash. You get the impression that there must be something important in this room.
There's 4 goblins trying to deal with this thing?
4 goblins and 4 wolves. And 2 orcs.
Okay.
It's like a bad algebra problem. Solve for X.
I guess I'll
I'll send a message to Shan and be like, "What do you see?"
There's a lot in here, and I'll relay all of the enemies here or potential enemies, I guess. I mean, if they're orcs and goblins, they're enemies, but
Not unless you're Prius.
Does it look like the dire wolf is like aggressive to the rest of them? Is that why they're holding it back, or?
Yeah, so it looks like the dire wolves are kind of like snapping at each other, and sometimes they'll like turn around and snap at the goblins, and then they'll like bat it on the nose with like a stick or something. And so yeah, the wolves are definitely aggressive.
I'll say to the immediate group as well as Shan, maybe we should try and like get the dire wolves loose to fuck with everybody else, and then we can come in and deal with the scraps. What do you guys think?
I think that sounds like an excellent plan. What kind of leashes do they have? Are they like leather or?
It looks like it's basically just a modified steel chain.
Is it like a bunch of them holding a bunch of different chains?
Yeah, so it's 4 goblins holding 4 chains attached to 4 wolves.
Okay, that's a lot.
You would think they would just get one dog walker.
I'll in one of the replies back to Rorx, I'll tell him I'm not sure that this is something that's going to be easily dealt with. These seem like some sort of war hounds.
How big is this room that we're looking into?
This room is roughly 15 by 15 feet.
Well, there's a couple of things that I could do. Maybe. I know. I've prepared the darkness spell for today. That could make it difficult for them to see as we pass. I also have heat metal if we want to try and let loose a wolf.
I also have heat metal.
I would
So
also
that
like to ride
that could
one of
be
those
useful.
wolves.
I could
Um,
tame one, perhaps.
I would like to ride one of
I'm
those
proficient
wolves.
with animal friendships, as it were.
Yes,
I
I would like to.
But it's whatever we think is the best solution.
Okay, remind me of the numbers. There's 4 wolves.
4 wolves,
2 orcs,
4 chains, 4
4
goblins.
wolves, 4 goblins.
4 wolves, 4 goblins, 2 orcs. Okay, I thought that's a lot of people in one room.
Yep.
50-15.
Maybe we could talk to them.
I don't
Does
speak
anyone
goblin.
Say,
Does
I don't
any
either.
we're,
Does anyone speak the language of our
Archers?
enemies?
No.
I do. I speak orc at least. But what is talking to them gonna do? I feel like that's just gonna sick them on us.
Find a way to avoid combat. We don't need to kill these things.
I mean, they've killed hundreds of our brethren, but yeah, I guess.
Well, I could cast darkness and we could just pass around them. Although they would know something is there, because, the whole room would be dark.
Well, I bet those wolves could smell us even in darkness.
So that's
I'm
true.
sure they could.
We do need to go through this way to continue forward. There wasn't another path that we saw at all.
Correct.
This is definitely the way.
I mean, you are good at convincing people, and you speak their language, possibly. You could attempt to speak with them. Rorx?
Could we? Does anyone have the ability to make him look like an orc? That's maybe in charge?
Oh,
I'm sorry. Does anyone know how to make him look like an orc? My voice dropped there for a second.
As you say that, I will change my race.
Well, that's a neat party trick.
I'll be like, so I'm just gonna wave my hand over my face like I'm casting a spell, basically, and just be like, orc. So I'm a short orc, but I'm an orc.
Do
You say short like it's a bad thing.
Do you need an accompaniment?
Well, I mean, now that I look like one of them, I don't know what I am going to say. Like, I can't, get them to leave because they're probably guarding something important in there.
Could you?
So just being like, command says to leave, I feel like it's going to be really
Why
obvious,
don't you
right?
instead tell them you're there to relieve them of their duties?
One orc is relieving all of them.
I don't know.
There was an orc leader, was there not? That were just
Go
defeated?
back.
The orc leader, but
Make Muppet skins
We
out
have
of those orcs.
His weapon.
is the orc leader
Just orc.
Was-
orc.
is the
It's
orc-
terrifying to me.
leader the leader? Was the orc leader the leader of all orcs, or just the band we were fighting?
Probably just the band we were fighting, I imagine. Do we know of, a high-ranking orc that's in their ranks that we could be like, this dude told us to come and check you guys out?
Grunt said.
I'll ask for maybe a history roll.
All of us?
Whoever wants to do it.
I'm gonna
See if we're-
try.
I'm really
I
bad.
rolled
think
a
anyone,
9.
is anyone good at history?
Nope. I rolled a 9.
I rolled a 15.
That's pretty good. Oh, I rolled a 19.
In this world, orcs, like I said, have a very short lifespan. There are very few who become infamous. I was asking for a 20.
Ah, so close.
So,
But he says that, and the orc that he killed had very long tusks.
Yeah.
So
Could
he
you-
could be well known to them.
What if I put
That's what I was thinking.
the fake
Fake ones in
tusk?
there.
I think I can change my appearance to look like.
What about the
Let
weapon
me
you
double
have
check
too?
that.
Yeah, and we have his axe.
Yeah.
Does the
No,
disguise self spell allow you to make yourself look like anyone?
I don't think he used disguise up.
I did. Okay, so out of character, I did not use disguise self.
No.
But I made it look like I used disguise self because.
Okay, but
I don't know.
I have that, so that's why I was wondering. Did it
Oh.
make you look like anyone?
Right. It says specifically, I can make yourself appear as a member of another race. You can duplicate the appearance of a creature you can't duplicate the creature you've never seen, but you must adopt a form that is the most basic arrangement of limbs. So I have seen him, so I can make myself look like him, and even have like the tusks. I can even put the fake ones in if we need to.
Let me get him out of my purse.
And I don't know his name is the only thing. Like we never got his name.
Dead.
So you change your appearance. Are you walking in then?
Do you want to pretend like you have like a prisoner and you're like escorting us through the room? And we're just going on to like a further...
Well, we just passed where the prison cells were.
Yeah, we did.
You could lie to them and tell them that there's a band of elves coming this way, and their assistance is needed.
Were there any like side rooms that like the rest of the party could hide in that weren't too far back? That I like hypothetically, I'm like, hey, there's a bunch of people outside and they need your help. Go help them and get them to leave this area at least.
It looked like a small storeroom, maybe like 20 feet back from the entrance.
Yeah, I'm gonna have everybody just be like, go, assuming they can all fit in that room.
Sure.
Comfortably, and like they're not gonna see him. So yeah, I'm gonna go and be like, go hide in that room.
Do you want me to come with you? I can change my appearance. I can possibly tame one of the dogs if we need.
Yeah, how are you gonna change your appearance?
Oh, like this! And you see all of her tattoos start to move and shimmer, and as they do, she starts to look like an orc.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the more the merrier. I will ask for the great axe from Bink.
Oh, yeah, just a second. Just hands it over to you.
And
No one knows where it comes from.
Onto it, but I'm not very fucking strong. I'm gonna
right.
have to like put it on my back and like not hang on to it.
It's really cool if you just drag it. Like you're like,
I'm sure
just
I'd be a
follow those
little
people.
cumbersome with it.
Listen closely.
Anyway.
If combat should arise, be prepared to do combat. All of you.
Yes. Everyone be ready. Except for Nylor. Maybe just hang out in here. Just stay here and we'll come get you.
An orc with a magical staff is probably suspicious. Could you hold this for me? Sure. You see, looking down at you,
No.
Atlas, and he like sticks his tongue out. Perfect. I'll be right back.
okay.
Atlas. Do not
So,
follow me this time.
This time. Oh,
So
I wanted to fly.
Nova and I are gonna head forward.
He's just a growing boy.
Yeah.
So you two head forward into this room. And as you turn the corner, all the eyes in this room look up to you. And one of the orcs, who's hanging in the back, sitting on one of the barrels, picking at one of his fingernails with a blade, he looks up and sees you, and he sees your intricately designed tusks. And he says, "What the hell are you doing here? This isn't your shift." And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. Thank you so much for joining us on this first episode of the Midnight Campaign. Again, this is only going to be a short arc. Hopefully this was everyone enjoyed themselves, and we can't wait to see you next time. Make sure to like and subscribe us on YouTube and all of our social medias, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.